My life was turned upside down by a single accusation. My name is Elliott, and at the time, I was 23, living at home with my family while working part time and saving for my future. My sister Gemma, who's always been the favorite in our family, had just gotten engaged. Her engagement ring was her most prized possession, a symbol of her success and her perfect life. One day, chaos erupted in our house. Gemma's ring had gone missing, and she was frantic. Everyone searched high and low for it, but it was nowhere to be found. Then, out of nowhere, Gemma pointed her finger at me. She accused me of stealing her ring. The accusation hit me like a punch to the gut. Sure, my relationship with Gemma had always been rocky. We weren't close, and I always felt like I was in her shadow. But stealing? I would never do something like that. I told her I didn't take it, but she wouldn't believe me. She told my parents that I was jealous of her success, that I must have stolen it out of spite or to sell it for money. My parents, instead of defending me, began to question me. They searched my room without my consent, rifling through my belongings as if I were a criminal. When they found a small stash of cash I had saved from my part time job, they took it as evidence that I had sold the ring. No matter how much I pleaded and insisted I was innocent, they wouldn't listen. My parents said they couldn't trust me anymore. They told me to leave the house. Just like that, I was out on the street with nowhere to go. For weeks, I slept on a friend's couch, feeling completely betrayed by the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally. I had no family to turn to and no support system beyond my friend, who thankfully took me in. I started working odd jobs to make ends meet, eventually finding a stable position at a warehouse. I worked tirelessly, saving every penny while taking online business classes in the hopes of building a better future. But the pain of being abandoned by my family never left me. I spent countless nights replaying that moment in my head, my parents' accusing looks, Gemma's smug satisfaction, and the way they didn't even hesitate to believe the worst about me. Then, 3 years later, everything changed. I got a call from my mom. At first, I thought it was a mistake because we hadn't spoken since I was kicked out. But she sounded shaken. She told me they had found the engagement ring. It had fallen into the garbage disposal in the kitchen. I didn't know how to feel. Relief that my name was finally cleared? Anger that it took them 3 years to figure it out? Hurt that they didn't even think to apologize right away? My mom and dad asked me to come over to talk. They wanted to apologize and make amends. When I met with them, my parents seemed genuinely remorseful, but Gemma couldn't even look me in the eye. She offered some half-hearted apology about how she was stressed at the time, but it didn't feel sincere. I could tell she wasn't sorry for what she did, only sorry she got caught. My parents begged me to forgive them, saying they had made a terrible mistake. But how do you forgive something like that? They didn't just accuse me. They destroyed my life. They made me homeless. They let me believe I was worth nothing to them. Since then, I've been trying to rebuild my relationship with my parents, but it hasn't been easy. I've kept Gemma at a distance because I don't trust her, and honestly, I don't know if I ever will. I've started therapy to deal with the anger and pain, and it's helped me realize that forgiveness isn't for them. It's for me. But even now, I ask myself, should I forgive them? Do they deserve a second chance? Or should I move on and leave them in the past? For now, I'm focusing on myself. I got a promotion at work and moved to a new city to start fresh. I'm building the life I always dreamed of, free from the shadow of my family's betrayal. But the scars are still there, and I don't know if they'll ever fully heal. What would you do in my situation? Would you forgive them, or would you walk away for good?